Hello and welcome to Mom Your Way, the podcast for moms who are ready to stop second-guessing themselves and start showing up with calm, confidence, and self-trust. I'm Lauren LaSalle, mentor, mom, and fellow human in the middle of messy motherhood. Around here, we don't do perfection, we do presence. Each week, you'll hear honest conversations, gentle encouragement, and grounded support to help you tune into your own wisdom, care for yourself without guilt, and mother in a way that actually works for you. Because your way is the right way. So let's take a deep breath and begin. So 2 days ago, my daughter was out shopping with my husband doing errands, and she went under in a clothing rack thing at a store, and I guess there's a metal bar. She tripped over it. She busted open her chin. It ended up not being as bad as we sort of thought it might be. We didn't have to go to the hospital. She didn't need stitches or anything. Thank goodness, because she's only 2.5. Poor little buddy. She actually handled it really well, which sort of also gave us the hint that it's probably not as bad as it seemed, because when things are bleeding, sometimes you can't really tell how bad it is, the cut. But anyway, I thought that would be sort of a good jumping off point for this episode, because obviously if you have kids, they're going to get hurt. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about trusting yourself in mom emergencies, things that came up for me in this one, and some things that just come up for us sort of in general when it comes to our kids getting hurt. So first thing, so I wasn't there when this happened. My husband was with her. I was at home and he called me and he said she fell and busted open her chin. And so I couldn't see what had happened. I couldn't see her. Obviously she was crying in the background, but I didn't know how bad it was, and I think he was still sort of assessing how bad it was. So that was scary. When they got home, she was totally calm. She wasn't crying or upset or anything. And we took a look we had to change the Band-Aids, and we took a look at the cut, and it looked so much better, apparently, than it had when it had first happened, according to my husband. So I felt like, because it hadn't just bled through the Band-Aid super, super fast, and it wasn't just continually bleeding, it was just slowly bleeding, that was a sign that we didn't need to take her to the hospital. So that was sort of my gut reaction. And we were both on the same page. We're it's not gushing blood, it's just bleeding a little bit. It is a pretty decent cut, but it's not deep, so she's going to be okay. And so that was our initial thought. Luckily, I was able to sort of do little relaxing, deep breathing and calm myself down while they were on their way home, because I think I would have been shaking in the moment. I honestly, I don't want to ever make it more of a big deal than it needs to be. I don't want to worry my daughter or make her feel really upset or scared about something if it doesn't warrant that type of feeling for her. But for me, I mean, that's so scary to have your child fall, and she's so little, and really hurt herself. And this is her first, it's not even a major accident, but I mean, as far as things go, it's her first big fall, big accident that she's had in her life. And so my husband had said to me, she's calm now. When we get home, just be calm with her. And so luckily I had the time to be able to settle myself, just sort of prepare mentally, we'll just see how it looks when she gets here, and then take her to the hospital if we feel like we need to. There's nothing to worry about. Don't get yourself all worried for nothing. You'll see what happens when she's here. And I think that's an important thing, just sort of in general, for us to remember, because we do feel things so deeply. We don't want to discount that feeling, but at the same time, especially when it comes to our kids, we also don't want to transfer that to them because kids, whether they're highly sensitive or not, just really pick up on how people are feeling. And we don't want to transfer that to them. So she was calm. I was calm. We just sort of talked about what happened. We checked the Band-Aid. We got her a new one and didn't make a big deal of it. And that felt really nice to me. Like that we got her dinner. We had her watch a show for special while she was eating dinner because like she'd just been through a lot. And that felt so good to me that I was able to get myself in a place where we could do that for her and not make it a big thing. However, you know this overthinking happens at some point, right? Because I'm sure you've been there too. So that night, as I was falling asleep, and then when I would wake up in the middle of the night, it would just keep popping into my head. Okay, in the morning, I think because it's on her face, it's like underneath her chin, so you really can't see it unless she tips her head up. But I just kept thinking, okay, so I probably should take her to the hospital in the morning just so they can see if they feel like they need to do stitches because it's on her face. And as much as I don't want her to have stitches, like that's not going to be a fun experience for her. But I really want it to heal correctly because it's on her face. And so I was sort of like worrying about that all night on and off. And I did not need to be doing that to myself. I think that sort of is naturally just what happens when you're a parent, unfortunately. Like, did I make the right choice? Should I have taken her to the hospital when it was fresh? Like, is it going to be too late in the morning? And guess what? When she woke up, I asked her if her chin hurt, and she said no. And it had bled a little bit throughout the night, but I mean, she is rolling around in bed a lot. And I took the Band-Aid off. It had already started to heal, and it looked pretty good. So I just, going back to all the intuition and maternal intuition and all of that, my first instinct was correct. And I'm learning to not second guess that so much, or if something comes up second guessing it, I go, no, like I hear you, I see that you're there, but this is not helpful to me. It doesn't make me feel any better, just makes me feel worse. I don't need these thoughts trying to influence what's going on because they're not right. It's just worry. It's just worry thoughts that don't need to be there because there's nothing to worry about. So it was nice to know that my initial instinct was right. And I hope it really does heal the way that I hope it looks okay when it heals. I'm sure it will take a while to really go back to looking totally normal and blended in, but I think we really did initially make the right decision. And those mental spirals that come after the fact are just really annoying. So I guess my advice in those situations, like I was trying to do, is to not let yourself go down the spiral, to sort of acknowledge it. And like I was saying, okay, we can plan for this in the morning. I sort of have a plan of what we can do if we do need to go to the hospital, but I won't know until I see what her cut looks like in the morning. So that did help a little bit. And I think it's important to remember that no matter how hard we try, we cannot prevent these things from happening. We cannot prevent our kids from falling, from hurting themselves, from going through some really tough times. And parenting is not about being perfect, because nobody is. You can't be. It's about showing up as a parent and being present with your child and loving your child and letting them know that you are there for them. It's that connection that really makes the difference. It's about, because we'll make mistakes, of course. I mean, you can parent from your intuition all you want and still make mistakes in your child's eyes. It might feel like a good choice to you, but of course, like when we were kids, I know I've reflected on things that felt unfair to me or whatever the case may be, but my parents felt like it was the right decision in that moment. So those things will happen. And we will, of course, make mistakes. And if our kids get upset, or if we are, if we yell, we try to not yell, but if we do, apologizing and saying, I'm sorry, Mom, that Mommy was feeling really frustrated. And I'm so sorry that I raised my voice with you. And I am trying not to do that. And, or, however it feels good for you to apologize to your child. It's okay for us to apologize to them. It's okay for us to not be perfect, because we're not. And I think when we're able to do those things, it helps our children be able to know that they too can make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, because when my mommy and daddy make mistakes, they own it and they apologize. And so I'm able to do the same thing. So on that note, I think I will end this episode. If anybody listening has any specific mom topics that you would like me to cover, and I will remind you, I only have a 2.5-year-old. I'm pregnant with our second one. So I only have, 2.5 years of experience as a mom. I know it will be helpful for some people, but just keep that in mind when submitting. If you want to submit an episode topic suggestion, you can email me. My email address is in the episode description, or DM me on Instagram. I am Lauren LaSalle. And I'd love to know what everybody would like to hear for mom-specific episodes. So thank you in advance for that. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Mom Your Way podcast. You can help support the podcast by taking a minute to rate and review it, or share a favorite episode with a fellow mama. Visit laurenlasalle.com for free resources, information about my programs, and to join my email list. You can connect with me on Instagram at @IamLaurenLaSalle, or email me at lauren@laurenlasalle.com. See you next week.